Greetings, it's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio, and if there is no talking on this show, there is no show, pretty much the way it works with every radio show, but we rely on you, especially on Unscripted Day. This is our final Unscripted, well, our only Unscripted of the month. It's the last, usually we do it on the last, what is it, Debbie, the last live broadcast of the month, but...
Right, Friday. We try to do it on a Friday, yeah.
But what Unscripted is you bring to the table whatever is on your mind, is kind of circling around your attention sphere right now, something on your mind, in your heart, a prayer intention, a show suggestion, something about if you didn't get a chance to get on a recent show and you would like to comment about that. Really, it's all yours right now, 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. Debbie and I usually try to bring a little something of our own to the program. So, Debbie, I'll let you lead off if you have anything.
Okay, yeah, but definitely. Unscripted moves very quickly. So please get to the phones. Oh, come on. You have the phone right in your hand. Just dial this number. Ryan is waiting to talk to you, and you can share anything that's on your mind or heart. You lead the discussion. It's a wonderful show. We learn a lot. A lot of people go back afterwards and check out the YouTube. They replay it on YouTube. And as a matter of fact, Jerry, we had a boatload of views yesterday for yesterday's show. So everybody really, really liked that. So that was great, you guys. That's great that you pass on the YouTube and Facebook to all of your friends. We see that floating around on social media. So thank you so much. But right now we need you to call in 833-288-3986. Fill up those phone lines. It's unscripted. If you're listening, if you hear the sound of our voices, you are part of the Take Two family. This is your platform to share what you want to spread to the world and you want to talk about. Okay, yes, Jerry, I do have something for Unscripted. I'm going to say it publicly. Probably, well, this will be the first and last time I said it for 2020.
Okay.
Marty,
hope it's,
my
I was going to say, I hope it's not about me.
No. Marty, my husband, was correct. Okay, I'm just stating it. He was correct. I'll tell you all the story behind this. Okay, so my husband and I planned for 2021. We put down it's a vision board, and we put down a lot of things we want to do and things we want to accomplish in the new year. And we were driving to church last weekend, and Arizona, if you don't know this, folks, Arizona is a great place for hot air balloons. And it's you always see hot air balloons going off all the time. It just seems so perfect. The weather and everything. We even have hot air balloon festivals in Arizona and everything. Marty and I have never been in a hot air balloon. Okay, a lot of families do it for Christmas. You know, you can get like 9-10 people in the what do you call that? The little carriage? Well, not carriage.
Gondola or
no? It's like a basket. The basket.
Right.
Okay,
right.
Yeah. And anyway, so long story short. Last night, the news report came out, and 1 block from our home, a hot air balloon landed in the backyard. It hit a little bit of a wind spike, and 9 people came crashing down into somebody's backyard a block away from my home. No one was injured. Thank goodness. Thank God. No one was injured. They were, slightly bruised up, and nobody was severely injured. But I had to say it, Jerry. As soon as my husband saw the news, I said, honey, you were right. I said, we can take that off of our 2021 bucket list. We're not, because Marty said, we're not going on one of those things. It's just not safe. I don't care. Anyway, long story, but there you go.
Well, yeah.
What?
I would just say, I'm willing to bet Marty's been right on a couple other things before. Maybe just one or two here and there.
Yeah, but doesn't that seem like fun? Have you ever been on a hot air balloon? Doesn't that seem like fun?
Seems like it'd be a blast. I have not,
right.
No.
Yeah, so you go up really high with a bunch of friends and stuff, and it's just beautiful, and you're overlooking everything. They fly over people's backyards and stuff. I just thought it would be fun, but not anymore. I don't want to go crashing down. Anyway, so Marty was right. I'm not going to do any hot air balloons. But if you've done a hot air balloon ride and you loved it, maybe you could call in and tell us about it. Maybe there, because then we can virtually experience it through your experience.
Yes, anything that you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours, the microphone is yours. It always is. You are the ones who drive the show with your takes, your lived experiences, your wisdom, your insights, the way you edify all of the other Take Two family members and us here at EWTN, but especially on Unscripted. Debbie and I don't bring a particular topic or an angle that we want to talk about. We just let you have the floor and share with us anything that you would like to, maybe about a past show. Here's we're about to wrap up the year 2020. Tomorrow, we have a show called What Would Be Your Goodbye Message to 2020? Maybe today you would like to share how you managed to make it through 2020. It's been a tough year for all of us. Maybe you didn't have COVID or any physical issues, but maybe mentally, stress-wise, it was a really tough year for you. Who helped you get through that? A lot of different things we can discuss today. There's only one phone line open, too, as well. Unscripted goes fast, as Debbie said, and a lot of people take part at 833-288-3986.
Okay, so I shared this tragic hot air balloon story. Share something that you want to, express to the Take Two family. You do not have to be Catholic to call in. We have a lot of folks that aren't Catholic that love Take Two. You are part of the family. Call in right now at 833-288-3986 and just keep calling it. As the line becomes open, we want you to jump right in and share what's on your mind or heart. Okay, I just received a text message. One of our Take Two family members said they went on a hot air balloon ride and they said it was a blast. They had so much fun. I don't know, Jerry. I think I might have to sneak that back on our vision board. I know Marty's not going to be happy about it. I don't know. You got to have a little bit of adventure in your life, right? No?
Well, at least a little bit, yeah.
I mean, you fly planes. I mean, that's being adventurous.
Well, I was a student pilot for a number of years. I have not finished and gotten my license yet, but I am. Maybe I should do a vision board for 2021 and put that on there.
Yeah, you put the plane, I'll put the hot air balloon.
Hopefully we don't run into each other.
Right. That's hilarious. Oh, look at this, Jerry. All the lines are lit up. It looks like a Christmas tree. I love it. 833-288-3986. This is Unscripted. The last one for 2020. So if you want something that you want to share, this is the time to do it right now. Keep calling 833-288-3986. I'm looking forward to this, Jerry. I've got my notebook out, ready to take some notes and learn something new.
Join me next time when our guest authors Janos Rozakon and Gregos Gorny talk to us from Poland about their latest work, Vatican Secret Archives.
There are many black legends and fake news about the church in the pop culture, and false interpretations of the history are used against the church, and we wanted to looking for the true.
EWTN Bookmark with Doug Keck brings you the best Catholic authors, Saturdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
It's time for Family Man with Dr. Gregory Popchak.
Some couples do a better job of prioritizing their relationships than others, but a new study from the University of Illinois shows that all couples, even ones with a more don't sweat it attitude toward couple time, experience a greater risk of marital problems if they don't develop their relationship work ethic. According to the study, when people enter the workplace, they make an effort to arrive on time, be productive throughout the day, listen attentively to coworkers and supervisors, and try to get along with others. Researchers say couples should be at least as invested in their relationship work ethic, prioritizing their partner and putting the same kind of energy into active listening, planning time together, finding a workable solution for sharing household tasks, and handling personal stress so it doesn't spill over into the relationship. Our faith tells us that living our vocation as husbands and wives is the most important activity on our schedule. It seems science agrees. I'm Dr. Greg Popchak, but you can call me Family Man.
To discover more ways faith can enrich your life, visit CatholicCounselors.com.
And we continue to wish you and yours a very blessed Christmas season. That's right. For those who are unaware, Christmas is not a day. It's not a morning. It's not 3 months leading up to December 25th, and then it's over at noon. There is a Christmas season on the liturgical calendar, and we are still in that right now. So Merry, Merry Christmas from all of us at EWTN and the Take Two family. And we hope that you have a blessed new year coming up. And, even though the new year, we're going to turn the page on the calendar, we remain in this COVID situation. And ever since that started, EWTN has created what they call EWTN Radio Essentials for you to keep you plugged into the devotionals and the spiritual programs that are important to keeping ourselves in balance during a situation like this. And it's called EWTN Radio Essentials. There you're going to find the sacrifice of the Mass every 2 hours, also rosaries, Divine Mercy chaplets, Stations of the Cross, and other devotionals. And you can hear EWTN Radio Essentials on the EWTN app and also at EWTN.com. So stay grounded during this time with your friends at EWTN.
Okay. All right, we're ready to go to the phones. This is Unscripted. If you would like to share something with the Take Two family, please call in now at 833-288-3986. You can also text us. You text the letters EWTN to 55000. You can also go on YouTube and Facebook, make your comments there or your questions, and Jeff Burson will happily grab them for us, and we can share them on air. You can also email us at take2@EWTN.com. Okay, we're going to Michael first in New York, listening on EWTN.com. Hi, Michael. Thanks for being first up on Unscripted, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, same to you, too, and Happy New Year.
Thank
you. You too.
Yes, and back in at the beginning of this month, you were talking about what saint would you have dinner with?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very popular show.
Yeah. But I didn't get a chance to participate, but mine would be Jesus, Mary, Joseph, Anne, Joachim, Michael, Patrick, and Faustina.
Wow.
Wow. That would be a nice dinner to...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
kind of a
powerhouse.
VIP dinner, yeah.
Yeah, a VIP dinner. Awesome. Okay.
Any particular reason for any of those? Obviously, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph being the Holy Family. What about the other ones? Any reason in particular that you would want to be in their company, share that meal, and be able to ask them questions and get to know them better, Michael?
Well, I was born on St. Anne's feast day back in 1968, and Joachim is her husband, and then Michael is my patron saint, so that explains that. Patrick is the Apostle of Ireland, and Faustina is the Apostle of Divine Mercy.
Nice. So, Michael, would that be, July 26th? Is that correct?
Yep, that's the La Grande Fête de la Bonne Sainte Anne, the great feast of Good Saint Anne.
Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And then throw in two, and then here's a little bit of a kicker. In addition to them, I would throw in two classical music composers, Beethoven and Shostakovich, and the same meal.
Wow. Just out of curiosity, Michael, because we get into details here at Take Two, what would you serve for the meal?
Well, basically, it would be low sodium.
Okay.
No sugar.
Okay.
Have chicken or turkey.
Nice.
With lots of veggies and no potatoes.
Okay. Good high protein meal.
Sounds almost like a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah, without the potatoes.
Without the potatoes.
Yeah,
might
be something of use for Monsignor Pope there, because I know he's had some issues with food in the past. So,
right.
Yeah, that could be something that could actually help him lose some weight.
Yeah. Well, Michael, I think it's so beautiful that you for your dining, event, you picked all those incredible people that walked this earth, right? And how amazing, what of a conversation that would be like, and how uplifting, and you would feel like you would want it to never end, right, Michael? So here's the challenge for you. Here's the challenge for you, Michael. Every time you sit down to dine, call that image to mind. Call that image to mind, because I think it's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
All right. Well, Michael, we're glad that you're listening to the show regularly. You're paying attention to the topics, and that you recalled this topic, like you said, from earlier this month, even though you didn't get a chance to call in and share what you just shared on that show live. This is what Unscripted is for.
That's
so
right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks
Michael.
for joining us. Yeah.
Yes, and Happy New Year. That was so great. What a great call. Okay, we have an open phone line at 833-288-3986. Please call in and share what's on your mind, your heart. You can visit, like Michael did, a past show and share about that. You could suggest, how about this? Suggest some future topics for us for 2021. Now, we do have most of January filled up already, but we get suggestions all the time, and we apply them definitely. We add them to the show calendar. So if you, or how about a past caller, or you just want to just talk about anything about the faith, we are here to listen. Bernadette is up next in Niagara Falls, New York, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hi, Bernadette. Thanks for waiting and welcome.
Hi, Debbie and Jerry.
Hi.
I just want to wish you both have a very, very Merry Christmas. And God bless you in the future year to share our treasure, our Catholic faith to all of us.
Thank you so much, Bernadette.
Thank you. I thank you. And I want to give today, I know a lot of people want to call. I want to try to make it short as I can. I just want to give witness to the power of the rosary. And for people that don't really have devotion to the rosary, they might rethink about the rosary and read it, and always and love Blessed Mother, ask for her intercession. Want to see this is.
We just lost.
Yeah, there was a disconnect. Oh no. Okay, Bernadette, please call back, and Ryan is waiting to pick up the phone, and you can continue on. But I just want to say something, Jerry, real quickly. Bernadette was starting off saying how important the rosary is. I couldn't agree more. You know, being a cradle Catholic, the rosary was very much part of our lives, and going to Catholic school, the same thing. I really do believe so many of us took it for granted. We saw it as something quite repetitive and could be even boring. I heard that a lot when I was in religious education. I heard the kids say that. It's just so not true. Please, for 2021, I agree with Bernadette. Pick up that rosary, enter deeply into the mysteries, watch that rosary transform your spiritual life, and also the power of prayer, how it produces so many mini and major miracles. I so agree with what Bernadette said, and I hope she calls back.
Yeah, the rosary has been really a gigantic part of my life since my early 20s. I think I've said on the air before, I didn't have much interest in it or knowledge of it in my teens and early 20s, and then one year for my birthday, my mother gave me a rosary, and I thought, well, you know, I love my mother, my earthly mother, and I thought if she cares enough to give me a rosary, I should care enough to start praying it. And I'll tell you, Debbie, I'm sitting here today, still very much a horrible sinner, but at the same time, in a relationship with God, in ministry, on the radio. I would have to say, obviously, it's because of Jesus, certainly, and my baptism in the Eucharist and His grace in my life. But second to that, and right up next to that, is the power of the rosary and what that has meant in my life. And didn't St. Padre Pio call it his weapon? Didn't he refer to the rosary as his weapon?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so it's not, like you said, it's not just this vain repetition of words. Really, it can become that, but it can become so much more than that if we pray it with intentionality and devotion, you know. And so, yeah, Bernadette was so right, and I think she had a comment on our screen here too, Debbie, about having lost her husband, I think, a couple of years ago.
On Christmas Day. Wasn't it Christmas Day?
I think Christmas Day in 2018, so...
Yeah, so Bernadette, if you can't call back or something happened with the phone connection, we entered your family into our book. We pray for the living and for the deceased, and we're so sorry for the loss of your husband. It looks like you said Christmas Day, I think on 2018 it said, right?
I believe I caught that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, folks, that's one thing we can all probably say that we have in common this year, is there's been a lot of loss. Absolutely. And so, Bernadette, if you are listening to us right now and can't call back, you can always email us at take2@ewtn.com. Okay. Where we go?
All right, today is Unscripted. It's anything you want to bring to the program. And Joanna is next in Nampa, Idaho, listening on Alexa. Hi, Joanna. Merry Christmas. Welcome to Take Two.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas to both of you as well.
Thank you.
First of all, I wanted to report a praise report.
Great.
I called for the first time here at the beginning of the month when you guys were talking about people with disabilities and people that work with them. And you guys were kind enough to put my daughter Jocelyn into the book there. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to report that she's been offered a position back in the industry. She wasn't happy. She left the industry and wasn't happy. So she got back into the industry, and she got offered a really nice position. So
nice.
God put her back where she wanted to be there. So
praise God.
That's the first thing.
That is wonderful. I marked that in the book. We always we add the praise reports in too. That's an addition that we do in the book, Joanna. Yeah. So because we want to go back,
fantastic.
and constantly be grateful and thankful to God. Well, that's wonderful. Please tell Jocelyn from us that we're so happy for her.
Thank you. And she was in here the days that I called you guys, and when we were getting things ready for Christmas, I replayed the podcast for her so she could listen to it, and she got tears in her eyes and said, thank you. And I said, you had thousands of people praying for you, and that moment's your heart. So God is good. God is good.
Yes, all the time. Absolutely.
The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was a gal that called in sometime around the beginning of the month as well. Her name is Alice, and she called to my heart because she's a grandmother, and she was pretty heartbroken that out of all her kids, there's only one grandchild that's still in the church. The others seem to have, fallen away. And it brought to mind my grandmother. She passed, but years ago, my uncle asked her, "What do you want for your birthday?" She says, "I want my family all together at a mass." And so he talked to the priest and said, put us at a mass for her birthday, and talked to the family. And we had people, we're in Idaho, we had people come in from Colorado, from California, from Iowa, from Mexico, from all over that one day a year. Her birthday was right around Memorial Day. For one day a year, everybody would come in for that weekend. And we would go to church together, a little church out here in Emmett that we would fill up. It was just family, and it was beautiful. The priest would give us the mass, and then we'd go at home and cook and just enjoy. Thanks to her wish there for the family, we were able to do it, I would say, pretty close to maybe 8 years before she passed, maybe longer. But I got to know my cousins' kids. My girls got to know their second and third cousins. We're still quite close as a family. I always say she didn't leave us money, but she left us something a lot more important. She left us family, and the love for the Rosary and our Blessed Mother. She was a wonderful woman, and maybe Alice could ask her kids to, just for her birthday, to come and go to Mass with her as a family.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is a fantastic idea. As you were talking there, Joanna, I'm thinking, here all of the family think they're doing this, in this case for your grandmother, and all of Alice's family would think, well, they're doing this for her. Alice wants this, so I'm going to do this for her. But really, your grandmother and Alice would do this almost as reverse psychology, Here, I want you to do this, but what they really want is they want to get them in proximity of the graces, of the sacraments, have that family time, that time near the Lord, that time in the church, that fellowship with family, the cooking and all of that. Those are things that bind families together, that reunite families that may have been, a little bit splintered to a certain degree, but especially the spiritual aspect of it. I think it's absolutely beautiful, Debbie. What do you think?
I completely agree, and I hope Alice is listening. I think it's fabulous, and all she would be asking is, that's what she wants as a gift. And
Correct.
when your loved ones share with you, oh, for my birthday, I want this. What do? You go out of your way to try and make it happen, right? Within reason, because that's what they really want. And so that's just a beautiful thing. And the fruits that come out of that, they are lasting in the family, like you shared. And I just think it's wonderful. Thank you for bringing that to, the world stage here. And so people could hear that, because I'm sure they could apply that to other families as well.
We have, so that was when you were saying yesterday, what would be, if you could do something again, that came to mind. Mm-hmm. Because it was beautiful to take a picture every year. We would take pictures, of course, and you'd get the whole, 100 and over 100 people together in a picture.
Wow.
Oh, there it goes.
Beautiful, Joanna. Thank you so much. It must be gorgeous in Nampa, Idaho right now. You probably got some snow on the ground. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for being part of our Unscripted Day on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We will be right back to get to Donna and Carol and many others.
EWTN Radio brings you the Holy Rosary twice each day for over 25 years. Tune in every morning for Mother Angelica and every evening for Father Benedict Rochelle, only on EWTN Radio.
Hey, Take Two family, it's here, and we can't wait for you to see what we've created to help you reach your highest potential in life. It's StandTallToday.com, our brand new website loaded with just the things you're looking for. Those include our team of life coaches, resources picked out just for you, our webinars, book club, and more. Whether you're struggling to find your purpose or feel like you have it pretty much figured out, let us help you today at StandTallToday.com. That's StandTallToday.com.
Father Benedict Rochelle.
I must tell you that from what I observe from very young people, all of these blasphemers, all of these mockers are in for a tough time, because the devil bites his own tail. And I find among young people a growing reverence and longing for God. I find a decline in the cynicism and skepticism around, because it had to destroy itself. No one can live on being an enemy of God. It's too crazy, it's too absurd, it's too dark, it's too bleak. God is beautiful, God is holy. Why in the world mock God?
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
I'm Gloria Purvis.
I'm Monsignor Charles Pope.
And I'm Deacon Harold. The Morning Glory team asks, what is the Catholic response to the Great Reset?
Tomorrow morning, 7 Eastern. Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Okay, so we're getting text messages coming in saying that you love Unscripted! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Okay, so we did say this is the last Unscripted for 2020. We are continuing Unscripted for 2021. I think that was the question that people are wondering. You are going to continue it, right? Yes, it is planned on the calendar once a month. Well, this is just the last one for 2020, so we want you to get in everything you have to share about 2020, because we are saying goodbye to 2020 tomorrow. Right? Because that's our last live broadcast, and we're having our goodbye messages.
We better. We better be.
We're getting rid of 2020. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Donna in Georgetown, Texas, Sirius XM 130. You've been waiting so patiently. Hi, Donna. Merry Christmas.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
So I'm asking, I guess, for prayers. We have to put our dog down, and I'm also looking, I guess, for clarification from a Catholic perspective, because when I looked it up, it said it's the right thing to do, but I just feel, like that we shouldn't be doing this to our animals. And I just didn't know if you guys had any insight from a Catholic perspective on whether we're supposed to be doing that to care for animals or not.
Well, I don't know any official position on that. I don't really believe that there is one. I mean, the church would absolutely say we must treat animals and our pets humanely. And I think part of that, Donna, is, many people have had this same situation where their dog, their cat, whatever their pet was, their health just deteriorated to a point where they were in pain all the time. And really, it almost becomes sort of inhumane to let them go on living. Now, I can understand the whole putting them down thing, because I have my little dog Duke, who's about 4 years old, and God willing, he's got a lot of life left in him. But I'll be honest with you, Donna, I think ahead sometimes to that day when, if I outlive him, when that day is going to come when I'm going to have to maybe take that action. And he was abused. He was a rescue dog, and I made him a promise right away. I said, nobody will ever hurt you again. And, it chokes me up to think about the day when I might have to do that to him, but I'll be able to say to him, I kept my promise. Nobody ever hurt you again. So Anyway, I don't mean to get emotional about that, but this is how attached we get to our pets, Debbie,
Yeah. And this was a special dog because my son was born with a heart condition, so it was like his wish to have a dog. And even though she wasn't a therapy dog officially, she was like his therapy dog.
Right.
So he's had her since she was 5 years old, and he's 18 now. So it's just, and yeah, okay. I just looking for some prayers, and thank you for your insight on that.
You got the prayers, Donna, for sure. It's very hard to lose an amazing addition to our family that has enhanced our families, and it's so hard. And we treat our pets somewhat like humans, and it becomes so difficult when it's time to say goodbye. We had to put down our first dog that we had 17 years. She was a beagle. Her name was Taffy, but we struggled too, Donna. We struggled so, it was so hard. It was finally when the vet said, we really must do this. She's in tremendous pain. She wants to just sleep. She's got to sleep. So we struggled with it. But we did, we did all the prayers around her. We did everything we could do to give her that Catholic send off, if you will. But it was hard. It was really hard. But I know what you mean, because we tend to, because we almost treat our pets like they're part of the human family. When it comes time for that, it's different though. Obviously we all know that, for human beings, we don't have that. It's not our right to say when it's somebody's time to leave this earth, because up until the very last breath, there is a need for conversion. Maybe there's a need for suffering. Maybe there's a need for all sorts of things. And so that's not for us to decide. But with our pets, I agree with Jerry. I've never really heard of anything in the Catholic Church, like specifically on that. But if the vet is really urging that it is the humane thing to do, I would say, we got to kind of rest in that. What do you think, Donna?
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. I guess I just needed to hear it from somebody else.
Right. It's so hard. It's so hard. And you know what? You will grieve. You're going to grieve a loss. It's a loss of like I said, your dog enhanced your family. And so when you lose that, there's a grief that happens. And take the time to grieve. Don't feel, like, oh, don't let anybody say to you, well, that was just a pet. It was part of your home, and your home is a beautiful place for you to enjoy, and as a safety and as a comfort. And your dog did that. Your dog added to it, right, Jerry? Wouldn't you say to give time to it? I always get frustrated when people say, "Oh, that's just a pet. Just get another pet." It's not that easy, because you're attached to that wonderful creature.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. There needs to be time, understanding that there is going to be a time to grieve. But Donna, I would almost suggest maybe a time to prepare for it. Maybe you've already done this.
Right.
Have the family together a few times. Have the dog there. Your son especially. This dog was, you got him especially, as a companion for your son. There's going to be, some heartache there probably on the part of your son. So maybe take some steps, remembering all the great times. Go through some photo albums. just have that family time together and talk it through. Talk it through that this has been a great, great gift from God, and maybe it's time that God, his time is finished on this earth. But maybe, just maybe, when the time is right, a new pet can enter your lives again. So I think there are a lot of things you can do to help prepare and then ease the pain on the other side. We need to do a show on this.
Yeah, we should do a show on it.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a happy New Year.
God bless you, Donna. We'll pray for this all goes well. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll pray. Okay, we're going to Carol, and Carol is in Detroit, Michigan, also waiting so patiently on Ave Maria Radio. Hi, Carol. Merry Christmas.
Hi, Debbie, and I'm so glad to talk to Barry. I'm so glad to talk to both of you. I was listening to your program, and I thought, this would be a good time to call. Mm-hmm. I'm really struggling with what happened in the election with President Trump. And as you know, with a Democrat in control, possibly of the House and the Senate, our lives can change very much to socialism. And those of us who were born after the Second World War, are very familiar with all the evils involved. And I'm so grateful to President Trump, and I know you are too, for all that he's done for us. In particular, that he mentioned God and gave the glory to God so many times, and what he did for the pro-life cause and for the advancement of religion and reclaiming our religious right to expression. So this is what's concerning me. My husband and I, we prayed the Miracle Rosary before the Feast of the Assumption on August 15th, and we've just continued praying every day. We haven't lost hope that the fraud that was mentioned, and I watched One America News, and they broadcasted the entire hearings of all the swing states that found major fraud. And hundreds of witnesses swore affidavits that they witnessed fraud. Very, very credible evidence. And you've seen some of the videos, I'm sure, of how there were votes that were hidden underneath tablecloths and dragged out at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. But I'm convinced that there is fraud, and yet the narrative that persists is that there's no evidence of fraud. And even Republicans are saying this. A.G. Barr refused to do anything about it, and he's the Attorney General. It would have been in his hands. He could have done something. And so could the Senates of the different states. But nobody is brave enough to come forward and stand up for him. So I'm wondering if any of your listeners know. Now, my husband and I do want to say this. We also have contributed generously 3 times to Trump, especially after the Georgia election. We donated again because, there's a need to get the word out about every reason why he should be elected president. But I'm wondering if any of your listeners know what else we can do. I tried to Google this, search this on the Internet, support Trump, whatever. All I got was old things that really didn't have anything to do. And yet, at this point, we need to demand that every legal vote be counted and that every illegal vote be removed, because our votes are canceled by illegal votes. Mm-hmm. So this is a very important issue that will impact the rest of the history of America. We could lose our ability to vote if illegal machines that cheat are allowed to continue to be used. And
right.
Once the Democrat seize power, we'll have less and less ability to do anything about it. So
well, Carol, as Let me just, you brought up a lot of important points here, and before I forget anything that I might have been willing to say by way of response, I wanted to jump in here, so please forgive me for that. But as you know, I'm sure you know from listening to EWTN, we cannot take sides, in terms of parties, candidates, things like that. We can certainly discuss the things that you're discussing, and that is what seems very likely to have been irregularities, fraud in the voting, things like that. We definitely have a major problem in the media today. Like you said, there are some alternative media outlets, but then you've got, even members of the president's own party who are saying, all right, let's move along. Let's get on with things. Let's forget about this. Almost taking opposing sides to him. And what it seems to is going to come down to, for me, from what I hear, I don't watch a lot of any news just because of this very reason. But it sounds like on January 6th, when the votes are supposed to be counted, you had said something about, isn't anybody going to stand up? I've heard there are many members of the House are going to stand up and challenge or oppose the electoral voting. I don't know if any senators have done so yet. So, Debbie, this thing may not be over yet. We don't know. I mean, it's hard to know because it's almost like a three-ring circus as you watch the media every day and you hear about this attempt by Trump and then it's shot down and then this person says this and this network says that, and pretty soon you just really don't know what your head is spinning after a very short time.
I completely agree. But the one thing I just wanted to say real quickly, Carol, or actually two quick things. Number one is let's take Trump out of it, take Biden out of it, take Republicans, Democrats out of it. It's not a good feeling for us in America to feel like our vote doesn't count. There's corruption. There's all sorts of things going on behind the scenes. What does that say for us as citizens? It really is uncomfortable. It makes us very nervous. I've heard that numerous times, Carol, and for everyone else that's listening. This whole idea we need transparency. We need people to step up and say, there's got to be safeguards in place that we, the average citizens, can feel comfortable. I think we could all agree on that, right? I mean, and one last thing I just want to say, Carol, I saw something very interesting yesterday, and it ran 4 times in Arizona. Now, Arizona is one of the states that they've been constantly mentioning that there were things that they picked up on, irregularities and stuff that happened in Arizona, and they were questioning the Arizona votes. There was a new commercial out in Arizona running, and I asked a friend, I said, has this been running for a while? And they said, yeah, for a couple days. And it basically cites pretty much everything you said, Carol, and then it says, call your elected officials. Let your officials know and call everyone you can and say, we need transparency. We need to feel secure. This is not right. We need to know our vote counts, and it is accurate, and it is legal, and it is appropriate for what's happening. And I'll tell you what, I think that would instill more confidence in the people of the U.S. What do you think, Carol?
Well, yes, of course. The problem is in Michigan here, both the governor and the clerk who oversaw the elections are both Democrats. So they're not willing to consider and to carry it any further. So I guess what I really called about was if any of your listeners know of anything else we can do. Maybe there's an effort. I don't know even how to contact. My elected officials are all Democrats, even my local representatives. So that leaves me kind of tied, with my hands tied behind my back. I'd like to contact the Senate, the United States Senate, and tell them, look, there's a lot of fraud. You need to do something about this. And if we had enough people, a large swarm of people contacting them, maybe they would take us seriously. But everybody is just like Fox News, are just laying back and letting the thing unfold and, taking a pacifist attitude towards this. And we can't do this. We have too much to lose. So that's why I thought maybe some of your listeners might know of what else we can do besides prayer, besides donating. What else can we do to help President Trump?
Well, yeah, I think all of those things are important. As Debbie said, this commercial says contact your local representatives, and you are absolutely right, Carol. We need to do that. We all should be doing that en masse, as they say. Like you said, as many people as possible who do that. That might actually rise to the level of where they would do something about that. In praying and meditating upon this, in the last 24 to 48 hours. Maybe it's just my thinking. Maybe it's the Holy Spirit that's put this on my heart. We do all of these things, Carol, that you're talking about, and Debbie, that you're talking about, and then at the end of the day, this is entirely in God's hands. I don't think there's ever been a situation in our country. We look back at the 2000 election with the hanging chads and went to the Supreme Court and all of that, and a lot of people were praying, and it was resolved on the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Think about this. I mean, this is the opening up of the ballots is going to be on January 6th. What is that? That's Epiphany. There could be a great epiphany, a great awakening in this country, and God could have his way in ways that we aren't currently aware of. So I just think we need to do all that we can, and then just totally surrender this to God and beg him for his outcome, for his will to be done, for his continued blessings on our country, because I think there's no question about it, Carol, like you said, if the socialist ideologies are allowed to be unleashed in this country, we will probably all end our lives not ever experiencing life as we knew it again under a free and fair democracy. So it's a very serious thing. And the Georgia elections, too, are very, very serious. So let us definitely beseech, just storm heaven and say, Father, please, there is little else that we can do that we haven't done. Now you please do all that you can do and trust that he will.
Yep. Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much for your call, and Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year. And thank you for waiting so long to get onto the show. We do, Jerry, do you want to highlight real quickly Al Cresta? But because Bernadette called back from Niagara Falls, so we want to make sure we get back to Bernadette.
Yeah, well, Cresta in the afternoon, this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time Al will have his continuation of his 2020 countdown with Father Richard Cassidy and St. Paul in Chains. That's 4 p.m. this afternoon, and every afternoon, Cresta in the afternoon on many of these same EWTN radio stations.
Okay, we're going to have to move quickly. So Bernadette did call back from Niagara Falls, New York, Station of the Cross. And Bernadette, we said when you dropped off that it looked like you told Ryan, our call screener, that your husband passed away on Christmas Day in 2018. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for taking me back. I think cell phone somehow got cut off. But anyway, I just want to make it real sure. So 5 days before Christmas in 2018, my husband was making cookie for friends, and he fell. He turned. I guess he fell, and he got massive brain bleeding. So we sent him to the hospital, and that was like at 10 o'clock in the morning. But all day long, he was saying rosary. Where he. We later find out that why he didn't even know who I am. But he was saying rosary real loud in the beginning. Then the late afternoon, his voice is kind of weakened. But you can still hear. So a friend of mine was me. She finally said, we should take a video. That's and because he was saying rosary. So anyway, the second day, he is motionless. He's not doing anything. But third day, for all my 8 children and the family all came home together. So I whispered to his ear. I say, Joey, everybody, all our family, all here, we're going to say rosary with you. And then his mouth started moving. And he starts saying the rosary. The voice is weak, but we can all hear. He is saying rosary. And then after that few hours, he can move his leg and do things like But that's a third day. before day. He's not moving, and it's in the 5th day, and on Christmas Day he passed away. So I just want to witness and share this with all our, Catholic or non-Catholic faithful, to God, to know the Rosary is such an important, and our Blessed Mother is so loving, and and I don't know how to explain this miracle, but it just my husband really gave witness.
Oh yeah,
to all my family.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What's your husband? What's your husband's name, Bernadette? Your first name, because we entered him into the book.
His name is Joseph. Joseph Panzarella.
Beautiful.
And,
Bernadette, it's so interesting because the Rosary has such incredible power. And when people like your husband, would pray the Rosary on a continual basis, it becomes part of their being. It becomes so much intertwined with who they are in their soul. And I've heard stories similar to what you shared with your husband. I've heard of people like in comas in a hospital that they'll be praying, and the person who's in the hospital bed will you'll see their lips moving, and they'll be praying along with the people around their bedside, and they're totally completely not coherent, and it's unbelievable. So I believe that the Rosary has these mystical powers because of we enter into the mysteries, the life, death, the passion and the ministry of Jesus and his mother. And when we do that, and it's scriptural, it's all scriptural, when we do that, it really takes us to another level. It just does. So Bernadette, thank you for sharing. And we're so sorry for your loss, but you know what? Joseph did leave a lot for all of us to learn from. So we appreciate that. Jerry?
Yeah, I just want to say something real quick. I have 8 children, and when they grew up, we say Rosary every night. And then, even after the kids gone, he says say Rosary every day. And he has such a devotion to Blessed Mother. So it's given me a comfort to know, on his last hour, Blessed Mother really intercede and was him always. Right. So thank you, Debbie, for allowing me the chance to share this witness to to Blessed Mother's powerful intercession.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Bernadette. Thank you so much for calling. Getting really short on time, but Christoph in Winnipeg, Manitoba, if you can share with us what you have in about 45 seconds, we're going to get that closing music right after that. Go right ahead.
So I'm going to have a baby for the first time after 11 years of failed pregnancies, 3 ectopics, 2 miscarriages. My wife has mental illness. We've had all sorts of problems, and we might now have a Down syndrome child, and it just doesn't seem to end all these problems we have. So I was just going to get you to pray for this, because it's supposed to be in the next few weeks, and I don't know if it'll even make it to that point because she's serious problems she has, and I just want people to know this because it's been very hard, and I already have and COVID doesn't help it, and I can't even go to Mass right now where I'm living, so because we're prevented from going to church. And so, that's what I want to tell you. I was going to tell you a longer story, but I didn't have time. So.
Jerry, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Debbie.
Christoph, just please, if you can just enter into each moment and be present at each moment of everything that happens and see what God has in store for you. Because I can tell you that some of these things that seem so difficult at the beginning end up turning out to be the biggest blessings. And we're going to pray for that. Jerry?
Yeah, and Christoph, St. John Paul II has been called by many as the patron of Down syndrome babies. So please ramp up your prayers, asking St. John Paul II to intercede. Juanita, we're praying for your aunt near the end of her life with terminal cancer and COVID, and with your mother. And Bill, we're praying for your wife. That is all the time that we have for today's program. Tomorrow, what goodbye message would you have to give to the year 2020? Until then, have a beautiful and blessed day.